And my answer to that night was basically, because Kinsman doesn't have water, the chances of us probably getting a big factory in Kinsman are probably, other than what we have, are probably not likely. That's a reality. So where we got to grow, and we have seen a lot of growth, and our zoning inspector will speak to this, we've had a lot of new housing starts in Kinsman Township. And that generates, that generates money for the township. And when you bring more people living here, you're going to have more need for places like Family Dollar and other places like that. They're going to bring a moderate amount of money into Kinsman Township. So the bottom line to this is that we got to be realistic about it. And so I think if, again, this goes to moving in the right direction. People drive through Kinsman, they're going to say, wow, this looks like a nice place. When I had that story on Channel 27, Nadine Grimley said she's getting married in February, and she made a comment to me that her fiance loves Kinsman, wants to move to Kinsman.
Great.
Why? Because if we were a dump or something, I mean, to me that was encouraging because I think we are moving in the right direction. So all I am asking as a trustee, and especially when I'm up for re-election this year, even though I'm unopposed, I'm still coming here and we'll be asking for a tax increase. So if you don't want to vote for me because I'm asking for more taxes, but the bottom line is that it's stressing Marge out too, I'm sure. So anyway, is there any other questions for me? Go ahead, Tony.
Were you going to touch on why you decided to do a 5-year versus a continuous?
Yes, thank you. And that, again, that is a very important question. It's because of we all felt that we didn't want to do this. And if things, we have faith in the community, or we wanted to put it back onto the community that in 5 years, if this money isn't being spent wisely, or if conditions change, we wanted the community to have the opportunity to, again, trust us with the money now. 5 years from now, when I probably won't be a trustee, but reevaluate it. Was this money, was it spent wisely? Did the township spend this money wisely? Does the township still need it, or do they need it as much? But, I had people tell me that we shouldn't have done that. We should have just went with and I'm sure Bruce has had the same, where you should have went with a continuing levy, like for the police department. And I was totally opposed to that, because I want you guys to make a decision on if we spend this money wisely. And vote is the best way to do that. I'm just not, police is different because you need that out there. But this here is something that I wanted to make sure that you guys continue to have input. And that's why, we're on Zoom every trustee meeting. I encourage you, this is great having you here, but we've been all about openness. This is why we're here tonight. That's why I, invited Mr. Yoder to come. I want you guys to make educated decisions. I don't want, I have people, I'm not, and God bless you. If you don't want to vote for this, this isn't a competition. This isn't something that I'm going to get mad about or anything. But again, as trustees, we got to make decisions and let you guys decide what you want.
I want to clarify something because I
Yes.
want to be extremely fair to you guys. So when we talked about the general fund and the road and bridge, that's your share of the inside millage. That's why it doesn't change. Because that doesn't change.
Even with the increase in...
No, the percent does not change.
Oh, the percentage, yeah.
Percentage
will
doesn't
change.
It will change. So altogether, that's a little over 3 mils. I had figured out that the 1.35 would give you an additional $12,600 in your general fund. The other thing, when I talked about the difference between what we estimated and what we are estimating now, you guys weren't aware of that. You didn't have crystal balls. You couldn't
We
tell.
had to have it in
You
before.
had to, and you had to figure out
And
based
quite
on-
frankly, 12,000, whatever,
Right,
wouldn't
and-
have fixed our problem.
Right, and the road and bridge, you're going to get, probably a little more than that, a little more than, the difference between the two, so probably, I'm guessing about 15,000, 16,000 more road and bridge. So you're going to get some more money because of that of your share of the inside millage, which the percent doesn't change. But, you didn't know how that was going to be.
And the road and
you
bridge.
and you didn't know how it was going to play out as far as what the difference between what we didn't know. We were still in the process. Unfortunately, putting a levy up in a reappraisal year is just really difficult. You don't have a crystal ball. I wanted to kind of come to your defense on that.
Well,
so
I
that
appreciate
people
that.
didn't think, well, they were just trying to get more money.
And another thing that stood in our mind is that the state, Columbus, again, there was, I think it's House Bill 1, it's
Right.
not, they're talking about taking more money away from townships. There's state legislatures that don't have enough, they can sit in Columbus and brag about they got a budget and they got a surplus and all this stuff, and
Who
so.
did we write to about that?
Well, the gentleman that's coming, it's the auditor for Ashtabula County, is running for state representative in the Republican primary against our current. And I don't want to stand up here and say I'm voting for him, but take it as you want. This guy is all over Ashtabula County. But that's who we need to make sure. Mike Wojcik is the one that we need to bend his ear, because he's the current guy that, and it's a Republican pushing this.
And who
So-
was the one that took all the money away from the township? You said we lost
The
some.
Governor Kasich is the one that started this.
You got there.
And then right after that, he bragged about having a $3 billion surplus, when that amount was about what they took off of local governments. His surplus was about what they took off of local governments.
Isn't that when they also increased the tax rebate on farmers, so they had to pay more taxes?
That I can't say, that I don't know. You have a question?
I was totally off the topic, that you mentioned grants. Do you have a group of people or a committee that does grant writing?
Well, we have a park committee that for that end of it that we're working on, but we do not have, I mean, we've had people in the township. Originally, when we got the playground equipment, that was a resident of Kinsman Township that went out on her, and out of the goodness of her heart, I don't remember her name, but she wrote the
Linda,
grant. And that park equipment, we wanted to replace it today, it'd be twice.
Walker? Linda Walker?
Okay, there you go. So, and just to mention that, because I know we've had conversations, one of the money we're getting from, some of the money we're getting from the commissioners is going to repair and replace. Matter of fact, that equipment came in today
Oh, great.
for the park equipment. So we're also getting backup generators for this building and the American Legion, because we have 3 emergency warming and cooling locations in the township. It's this building, the fire department, and the American Legion, because of the space. And this building, and then we have the police department here now. They went on backup generators. So you're heating, warming and cooling, and then your power goes out and you're SOL basically. So anyway, that's it. And then about 150,000 is the sidewalk, the park area, which again, if we can attract stuff like the car show or whatever to the park, people come to Kinsman. Again, we get people to come to Kinsman. They're going to go to our stores, our gas stations, our restaurants. Yes.
How did we participate? We'd like to get pickleball, but that
We've had-
tennis court is really, really bad.
Well, and we actually have a park meeting scheduled for next Wednesday. If you guys want to come, it's here.
What time?
6 o'clock
Here?
here. Okay. The park committee is meeting. We haven't met since, or they haven't met since before COVID. So what really helped push this was getting this money from the commissioners. We got a kickstart to help get something going in the park again.
I'm trying to get 2 estimates,
So that's-
maybe 3 to do that.
So that's something that, you know, we talked about pickleball before COVID, about doing something with the
Talking
courts.
and doing are 2 different things.
I understand it, but you can't go off in 50,000 different directions either. You gotta, you know, you gotta start. But if you want, we have
Probably
people.
15 people here for over a month.
Yeah, Oh, I know, I've noticed, I've seen it a lot. Jeff?
If we can get that